Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We're back after something of a hiatus. Gina,
Yes,
right?
I know. Missed you, Libby.
We had a bit of a hiatus.
Refreshed.
I missed you too. Well, I was feeling sort of refreshed
Until
the day after I get back from vacation and came back to work.
Isn't that what it's
So,
like?
and then the refreshment left. No, of course I'm. How can you not be refreshed on Nantucket? What's your hurry? You're already on Nantucket.
Yeah, you
I
go.
love that bumper sticker. All right, so at our board meeting, we got right back into things, right? When we
Yep,
got back
we
from our
sure did.
vacations. So at our board meeting this week, we had a kind of a lengthy meeting. We hadn't had a meeting for 2 or maybe even 3 weeks
3
at
weeks.
that point. Was it 3? So here's what we did. The sewer project is recommencing as of this coming Monday, September 17th. We're going to get updates out on the website, but it's going to be in the Shimo area and the Mid-Island-ish area. I'm not even sure where. I can only keep track of so many things, you know?
Yeah.
It's all going to be on the website.
What does that mean, though, when they start up?
It means there's going to be trucks and digging and sometimes roads might
around
be...
the Rotary, too?
No.
Okay,
no,
just in
no.
Shimo.
Well, there might be in the plus areas, which is Mid-Islandish, like Tashima area, Green Meadow area, Meadowview Farm,
Okay.
that area.
All right.
But I'm not sure what they're doing when, quite frankly, but it's in there. We have a special town meeting coming up, in case you haven't heard, on October 10th. Not just one special town meeting, 2 special town meetings. We received a citizen petition in August for a second special town meeting. That special town meeting now has 3 warrant articles on it. I'll get to that in a minute.
Boy, okay.
But that starts on October 10th, okay? 6 o'clock is the first one, 7:30 is the second one, but just be there at 6, okay? The DPW director gave us a little update on current roadway and sidewalk projects. That's all going to be online as well. We had, we completed some documents that the board needed to sign in order to complete a transaction with Harbor Fuel. The town is selling Harbor Fuel property out by the airport at 11 Industry Road to move the downtown fuel tank farm. That's where it is moving to. And so they've already been underway with design and site work and things like that. So that tank farm is expected to be moved within the next 12 to 18 months.
Who's buying it? The land?
Harbor Fuel is buying the land.
Oh, you're talking about the place where the tanks are going to go?
Yes.
Oh, what about
who's buying the land where the Harbor Fuel doesn't own that land where they are now.
Who owns that?
Nantucket Winthrop Associates owns it.
Oh, Winthrop does. Okay,
Yes.
got it. All right.
All right. Then we did a couple of minor little things. All right. We had Richmond Great Point Development Group in. And to make a long story short, they are required by special permits with the planning board to construct a number of roadway improvements in the right-of-way on Old South Road as part of the approval of their development. So the board basically approved those improvements to happen. After the improvements are complete, and they will be monitored and inspected as the project proceeds, the board will need to accept the improvements as, done in accordance with the plan and all of that. So there's a process to this, and this was sort of
I
a little bit of part of this is part of the process.
Is that the asphalt driveway that we're
It's
seeing?
not that driveway, but what we're going to see is a median in the roadway with some amount of plantings in it, a no left turn kind of thing. There's improvements
No left turn,
Yep, on a section.
right? So like where Valero's is, or
It's somewhere in there, yes. I don't have a total inventory of
Okay.
all of that, but there is one. So that's all going to be happening this fall, okay?
All
So
right.
Old South Road is going to be work being done on it. Okay, we also had a public hearing for Lola Burger to have a mobile food unit So basically, they're going to go around and do catering out of it. And they're going to park it at the Lola Burger at the Rotary from time to time.
oh, okay. But they're using it for catering.
Yes.
Only.
But, it's not going to be at the Lola Burger site.
And no, but I mean, you're not gonna be able to go and buy a burger from them like out at the beach or wherever they're
No,
parked?
no.
Okay,
It's catering private events.
got it.
We had a pretty lengthy discussion about the public assembly permit that's requested from the wine festival. Now, the wine festival used town property this year for its event at Jetties. And there were a number of issues with the use of that property, not the least of which was concern over control of the event with the disbursement of alcohol at it. Okay?
Well,
So,
okay.
long
I was a
story
little
short,
confused about that.
I think people were dancing around the issue a tiny bit and didn't want to come right out
Yeah,
with it.
so what
I'm
is
dancing
it?
around the issue
You're not gonna
right
dance around
now.
it because you're so darn straightforward.
Well, it's just that there were issues with drunken behavior because people were being served and people, the tent wasn't monitored the way it was intended to be.
What, has it been I mean, was it run better in past years in different locations? alcohol.
Apparently the event has expanded a bit. And they didn't expect it to expand as much as it did this year, and so they weren't prepared for it, is what they represented.
I see.
So that's of concern to the town, and the board had a discussion about the use of town property as a privilege, not a right, for an event like this. So, long story short, they did not approve that property for the event. They didn't not approve the event, they just said you can't use this property. So they're going to have to figure out what property they're going to use.
Oh, so
and
they
come
did. I
back.
thought they had to come back. They were gonna
They
get
have
one
to
more
come, well, they have to come back,
chance.
but-
To get it approved,
Well-
just to have the event. But they are.
they have to come back for a second hearing with a new proposal. And I guess their proposal might involve
I
jetties,
think
but
it
the
is.
board's gonna have
That's the way
to,
I've heard it.
you could be right, I might have said that wrong.
All right.
It was sort of confusing.
I think I think Jim gave him another chance. He was first like no, and then he was like, okay, I'll give you one more chance here.
It's a good thing you're at these meetings.
Well, I
Let me
can follow
explain them.
along
Yeah.
every now and then.
I sometimes multitask, I admit it.
Well,
I
you've
admit
got a
it,
lot on
okay?
your
I
plate.
multitask at the meetings because when else am I gonna do it? Anyway, they're coming back is the bottom
Yeah.
line, but there are also concerns, which is another bottom line.
They can move that event anywhere they want. They can have it at somebody's house if they want. I
Yes,
mean,
they don't need to have it on town property.
Okay.
There was also some discussion about moving the date to the prior week because there was concern about these back-to-back, it's back-to-back with Memorial Day weekend. So, anyway, there's a whole lot of opinions about this. Okay, we also had liquor license violation hearings. Several hearings were held and sanctions were issued on most of them. And this was mostly underage drinking. Annually, there's underage drinking sting operations, basically.
Oh, right.
So that's what this was.
So a few restaurants got stung.
Restaurants and package stores.
Do we know how many?
There were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No way. That many.
Nah,
Is
it
that
happens. I'm not saying it's right, but
No, but I mean, really, that many? Wow.
unless you're carding every single person that comes in, every single, you and I, Gino,
Yeah.
it's hard. You know,
I mean, these are for underage people though, that they got stung for, right? Not just you and I.
oh yeah, it was underage, right? But I mean, what I'm
9
saying
of them?
is,
That's
unless,
a lot.
well, I'm just saying that unless you card every single person, it's hard. And you know, you're busy and stuff happens.
Yes.
I'm not excusing it.
And what,
I'm
what,
not, but I
how
understand.
what do the cops do? They're watching?
Well,
Or how
they're-
do they sting it?
Well, it's an undercover situation. Do you know, I don't know all the details about how they do a sting. We're not supposed to know that.
All right.
How otherwise,
If I don't ask you though, I mean,
well, they send underage people in and
they send under.
say, can I get some beer?
Okay, now
And they
that's how
say,
Got it.
either here it is, or
That's the way
let
to
me
do
see your
it.
ID.
Got it. That's the way to do it. It was flying over my head, but that is the way to do it. Got it.
I even understood a little bit of that. Anyway, okay, we talked about Richmond. All right, so back to the special town meeting on October 10th. The board had an action item on the agenda as to whether or not it wanted to make any comments on articles. They had a bit of discussion about it. They are not going to make any comments on articles. By the way, the warrant with the Finance Committee motions, and there's a couple of Planning Board motions, was sent to the printer today, and it will be mailed out to voters shortly. Okay, so you're going to be getting it in the mail. You are also going to be getting Special Town Meeting 2 in the mail. However, because of the timing of it, the Finance Committee, and there's a Planning Board motion, will not be provided until town meeting.
Ooh.
They will be having public hearings about it prior, as required, but there was no time to get these things printed in the warrant, okay? Also, Special Town Meeting 2 will be printed in the newspaper next week. It was already printed, the Special Town Meeting 1 was in the newspaper a couple weeks ago.
What are the highlights, Libby, for this?
Okay, so the highlights for Special Town Meeting 1, let me just finish one quick thing. So at our meeting, the board basically accepted the petitions, which were in order, for Special Town Meeting 2 with the 3 articles, because they had enough petitions. They had enough signatures to call the Special Town Meeting as well as put articles on it. They closed the warrant down right away, so that's done. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. On October 10th, Special Town Meeting 1, which has 16 articles, 5 of those articles relate to marijuana. That is why we call the Special Town Meeting. And they relate to some zoning clarifications and bylaw amendments, but also bylaw amendments. There's an amendment, there's a bylaw about recreational marijuana establishments will be licensed by the board. That's a bylaw amendment. And they will be, there's one other one which I can't remember right this second, but the main one I think that most people are probably going to be focusing on is a limitation of recreational licenses, retail licenses, to 2. That requires a town meeting vote by law. So I think
Majority?
a majority. The zoning bylaw is a 2/3, but this is a majority. There are some other appropriation articles. That's most of the other articles. And some of those are fairly straightforward, no one will really care, and a couple of them are sort of on the larger end of things and people might care, but we will be explaining them all at town meeting. For example, there are 2 articles relating to Old South Road improvements and milestone improvements. If you recall, this was one big article at the annual. It passed at the annual, failed at the ballot. Now it's been broken into 2 articles. It still requires a ballot vote. That will be happening at the November statewide election. These local questions will appear on that ballot. So and with the Special Town Meeting 1, there's one citizen warrant article that relates to banning single-use plastics. All right. So
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you about some public outreach in a minute about all this.
All right.
Special Town Meeting 2 will start at 7:30. There are 3 articles on Special Town Meeting 2, all petitioned. The first has to do with requiring a town meeting vote for any town-owned property that would be licensed for erosion control projects.
Okay.
I think we know of one big one
Right.
that this would apply to.
All right.
Second is a citizen zoning article for a zoning change on South Shore Road. Don't ask me about it because I don't know.
Okay, right.
I don't know, but it's a zoning change.
Sure.
The third one has to do, I haven't even fully read it in great detail yet. I've read it over a couple of times. It's a bit wordy, to be honest about it. It seems as though what the intent is to require a town meeting vote if a private sewer line will be installed in a public roadway, which would apply theoretically to the other situation that I think we know about on South Shore Road, a proposed 40B development called Surfside Crossing.
Oh.
But it may relate to other non-related projects as well.
I'll look forward to studying that a little more.
Yeah, I think everybody
should.
will. So what'll happen is we call Special Town Meeting 1 to order at 6 o'clock and proceed. At 7:30, if we are not done with 1, we are going to recess 1, call 2 to order, recess 2, finish 1, and then go back to 2. You follow?
Yeah.
So we're obviously it takes a bit to hear and understand and comprehend so you know what's going to be happening, but we're trying to get out a lot of public outreach on this. We are doing some radio talks in the next couple of weeks. We are going to the Nantucket Town Association in 2 weeks, I think. Rotary next week. We're going to have these, what we're calling them, big boards. They are big boards at town meeting that explain with maps and renderings if needed and bullet points about what, not all, but what the maybe more contentious or controversial articles or more important articles are all about at town meeting. And we're thinking about a little bit of a road show with the big boards before town meeting. So maybe put them around town at different venues and people can go look at them and maybe somebody can be there for an hour to answer questions about them, something like that. We haven't totally worked that out yet. We usually have a voter's guide at town meeting, which is a guide produced by the town that explains in plain language all of the town-sponsored articles, not the citizen articles, just the town articles. And we're determining whether or not we could go so far as to do a booklet that says, here's what happens if you vote yes, here's what happens if you vote no. Very similar to the booklet that the state puts out for the annual, or not annual, but whenever there's a state election with ballot questions, you get a guide in the mail from the state that says, here's what this question is all about, and if you vote yes, this happens, if you vote no, this happens.
Okay.
So we're thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to be doing a lot of social media on Instagram, Twitter, and the town website. So be on the lookout for all of those things. Any questions can be emailed to the town manager email on the town website.
Is there a traffic? Are we doing anything with Old South Road again? Didn't
Yes.
you bring that up? That's
Yes,
a big one.
I mentioned that,
Yeah, okay.
but you didn't hear it. There's 2 articles relating to that area. One for Old South Road improvements and one for Milestone Road improvements,
All right.
including the Rotary, the Milestone Rotary. And there are, check the website because I think we put on there some renderings of what the improvements will look like. So there's some intersection improvements at various intersections along these roads. And I think there's a little bit of widening here and there. There's things like that.
Is this temporary, or is this just a first phase of other things that have to happen on Old South Road?
This would be Old South Road in its entirety, plus the Richmond improvements.
Okay.
Those are additional, not paid for by the town.
So there's a lot there.
There's a lot that would,
I'm interested
if
in
this
seeing
is approved. Okay, so, but you say, is it phased? Of the number that would be approved, it's, don't quote me, it's between 5 and 7 million for Old South. Let's just take that one. The improvements themselves would be phased, yes, because they wouldn't be done all at one time.
I'm interested to see this.
Yeah.
When are we going to see visually? 'Cause we
Well,
need
there's
visuals
some
for this
information
one.
on the website right now.
Yeah.
I think that Mike Birds did an NCTV video.
Oh,
and
he
maybe,
did?
And maybe we'll do a video with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get Mike out there.
Yeah, he'd be happy to do that. So
Okay.
I actually meant to talk to you about that before I came in.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the special town meetings. Lots of information on the website. The board at its meeting also had a discussion scheduled for adult use retail marijuana licensing criteria. Translation, we have several groups that are seeking to become either medical marijuana establishments or, once our moratorium is lifted, retail. And there are more than 2. And if the town meeting vote article passes for 2, then we would only have 2. So the board is saying if we have more applicants or applications than we have establishment licenses available, how will we pick who to take?
Yeah.
And they can pick whoever they want and use whatever criteria they want.
How,
So other towns are going through this. We're all at the very beginning of it. And
Right.
a couple of other towns have actually issued RFPs with criteria in them so that, okay, if you meet all this criteria, then you'll be sort of like acceptable to us and maybe we'll pick you. But in a nutshell, our meeting ran a bit late, and anyway, the board decided to have this discussion after the special town meeting because that is where we're going to find out more.
the moratorium
more
ends
happens.
this year, right?
The moratorium ends December 31st, 2018.
All right.
Yep.
And it's either going to be 2 or more.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay, at our meeting next week, the 19th, right now on the agenda, we have a couple of citizen items. Okay, the more important one is Sachem's Path Homeowners Association is requesting a waiver of sewer privilege fees for properties within their development. Now, this is not a straightforward matter. Long story short, the board has a policy that allows them to waive sewer privilege fees in certain circumstances, pretty much related only to affordable housing. So there's going to be some discussion about this, and there's a kind of a looming question as to why these sewer privilege fees weren't addressed up front, because the development is now pretty well built. And when the developers, everyone who goes for a sewer connection permit has to sign a document that says that you understand that a sewer privilege fee will be due with this permit.
Yeah.
And apparently that was signed off on, but
Their association doesn't want to
homeowners
pay
say, well, homeowners say they did not know about it.
for it. Okay.
So there's going to be some discussion
Oh,
about
there
this.
will be.
Oh, yeah. We have a couple public hearings on telephone petitions. Actually, this is happening at the beginning. We are going to have a legislative update from our state legislative delegation, which is Senator Sear and Representative Fernandez. They are going to give us a legislative update on some different things. Pending legislation, maybe the housing bill, the Nantucket's housing bill, and a couple other things. But most importantly, they're going to be issuing a special citation to someone. I'm not going to say the person's name. It's not a secret, this person's name. But if you want to know more, you might have to watch the meeting or come to the meeting. I'll give you a hint. Do you know who it is?
No.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. Well, maybe I'll just let you guess it, and then we won't keep people hanging about who it is.
Well, give us a hint.
All right, give you a hint. All right, this person lives here, and this person recently retired as, this is going to give it away. But this is what it is for. This person retired recently from the Steamship Authority, and he was a captain on the steamship, and for a long time. And so he's getting an award, a special citation.
Jeez.
He will be present. I hope he will be present.
I think I know who it is. I didn't realize he was retiring though. That's great.
Oh, he retired already.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah. So this is
Well,
going to be fun.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Libby.
Should we say who it is? Or
Bruce?
yeah, it's Bruce.
All right.
I didn't know for a while. What if Bruce saw this? Would he be like, "What? I'm getting an award? What?" But he knows. Bruce, you know about it, right? God, I hope you know about it. Bruce Malenfant is who it is. Okay, we also have some discussion about some other types of sewer fees, and that's it.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Yeah, that's not much going on around here. Oh, I want to mention Rita Higgins and I, select person Higgins, attended a Cape Cod Selectmen's Association meeting this morning in Eastham. We had to get up very early and get over there for a 7:30 a.m. meeting. And the meeting is about a short-term rental tax bill that is pending. It has not passed the legislature yet. It passed the legislature, went to the governor, and the governor has not signed off on it yet due to some concerns. But in a nutshell, jumping way ahead, high level, this bill would potentially assess a 2.75% tax on short-term rentals like Airbnb that are rented for 30 days or less. And there's an exemption, a bit of an exemption for 14-day or less rentals. I think it's I got to read it over a little bit more. Anyway, the money would go into a trust fund controlled by the Cape and Islands that would be used for wastewater projects, as well as water quality projects like dredging only.
That sounds pretty good to me.
It sounds pretty good to a lot of people.
And I don't like paying. I don't want more money going anywhere that I don't think it's
Needed,
viable.
yeah, and so there's a lot of reasons
That's
for
a
this.
good one.
The legislators are going to give an update about this at our meeting next week that I mentioned already. But it was a really interesting meeting, and all the towns, it seems like, support this legislation, and Julian Sear and others wrote the legislation.
Yeah, because they were up against, I mean, this thing's been going on for a long time.
It's been going on for a very long time. The expansion of the expansion of the room occupancy tax to cover short-term rentals discussion has been going on for a very long time.
Does that mean that the inns and hotels that also pay, that percentage that they're paying would go to water quality too?
No, that percentage that they're paying already goes into the general fund, as it does in most towns.
I see.
Anyway,
Okay. But
that's,
this is one of the stumbling blocks that they have had up
Yes.
there at
yes.
Beacon Hill, right?
So, yes, so I'm just saying other things that are going on around here.
Sure.
So Rita and I went to that. Yesterday, we had our Cape Cod managers meeting here. We have an association of the 15 towns on the Cape and the towns on the Vineyard, but the Vineyard never comes. And we met here. We usually meet here in September, and we had a great luncheon and tour of the Whaling Museum. So I think they really liked it. Not everybody comes over. It's a trip.
Sure.
But it was fun. It was nice. We had a really good discussion. We had a few of the town managers there. So it was good. Remember, one time you filmed them, remember? They came here
I
and
sure
you
did.
did
That
a
was
little
very
quick interview
interesting.
with
Sure.
them. That's
I guess that's it, Libby.
That's what's going on around here.
Did you have a nice vacation?
I did a great vacation. It's been kind of a long week, though. By Wednesday, I felt like it was Friday.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
It must be tough getting back to the grind, you know, at the pace that you have to keep.
I'm just going to say this. I have a lot of email, and
And you're back
it's
at
not
keeping
even funny
schedule?
how much email I have. And if you are, I've said this before, if you are someone who has emailed me, I am going to apologize right now that I don't know when I'm going to get back to you. I have 600 and something emails, and obviously I try to get at some of it every day, but like I wasn't not here this morning for a few hours because I was off island. Yesterday, I think I was down to 480 or something like that. 650.
Wow.
This when I just got back now.
Jeez. So I guess the best way to reach you is just bug you at the Stop and Shop.
No, please
No?
don't do that. You could just talk to somebody else, maybe. Yeah.
I know when you
Email's
go, so
kind of a,
I know where to find you.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody about
All
that.
right, I won't.
It's not a secret. All right, so that's it. It's gonna be a nice weekend.
Yep.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't talk about this. So there's that big hurricane down south. I hope everybody's okay down there.
Yeah.
We got some. I think we all probably have friends.
I
or
do. I have a very close
acquaintances down
friend
there.
getting hit right now.
I hope they're okay and it's
Yeah.
not really that terrible. But my God, Gina, what about those explosions
The ones in, yeah.
north of Boston?
Right. Wow.
Those poor people. I hope they're okay too,
Well, when they figure that out, somebody's going to be in big trouble.
as they.
I mean, that's a gas
be.
problem, right? That's the gas company. We don't have
I-
gas
I-
lines.
we probably-
We don't do that.
No,
No.
no gas lines here, people.
No.
You're welcome.
Right.
No, it's not because of me.
Sure.
But yet again, I thank God we don't have those gas lines.
Exactly.
I know there's more to it, but wow, that
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Right.
Thank you very much. See you next time.